Hello, film fans. Welcome to the Film vs. Film podcast. My name is Martin Harries, your host. I'm a filmmaker on occasion, but mainly can't stop yapping about movies. On this podcast, every episode, I pick a topic from a film that's coming out at the cinema or on streaming. I pick a favourite film from that topic and battle it out against a guest to decide which film would become the greatest film of all time. If you enjoy this podcast, please leave us a 5-star review and subscribe. Please enjoy part 2. Hello, Podderoonies or Podsters. If you prefer, we are back again for part 2 as we are talking Anne Hathaway films relating the episode to The Devil Wears Prada 2. And of course, I'm still here with Claire and Danielle from Why the Flick. And of course, this is the part of the show where we look back at your Instagram responses about your choices on the previous episode, and that previous episode was on Zendaya films. And Heather Stewart went with Challengers, and the other half, Ellie Laura at 93, went with The Greatest Showman. I'm intrigued, guys. What is your Zendaya choice for you, Danielle?
I'm a big Dune head, so I would have probably picked Dune, but I feel like she's underutilized in it, or just maybe Timothy is the focus. So I instead will select Challengers because not only is that a fantastic movie that I love, she is featured really heavily in it and does a great job. It's just such a fun film to watch. I just love the energy in it. So
yeah, it feels like Challengers is the first like proper like lead role that she can really dig her teeth into. With Challengers, it's so good. With like June, she's only in like June part 1 for like 10 minutes. Whereas part 2, she has certainly a bigger role for sure. Claire, what's your Zendaya choice for you?
Well, I'm glad that The Greatest Showman got some love because I was like, ooh, that's a really good one. So I'm just going to go, my answer's so banal, but I'm just going to go with Spider-Man No Way Home because she's in that franchise and she does a really great job as MJ. So I'm like, let's just like cover all our bases here.
Yeah, best moment from her in that film is when Andrew Garfield saves her from falling from her death, and Garfield looks really upset, and Zendaya's like, he asks her like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, it's a lot of deep meaning in that moment.
Yeah. So it is my turn then for Anne Hathaway films, and well, I guess I spoke to my girlfriend a lot about what shall I go with? I don't know. Like with Les Miserables, she's not in it very much, so I feel like that wouldn't be appropriate, even though she won an Oscar for that. And also, what was it? Interstellar, but she's more of an ensemble, but even though she's still very good in that, it's a very me film. But ultimately, when I mentioned to my girlfriend that I had not seen The Devil Wears Prada before, she gave me Meryl Streep's like death eyes. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll go for that one then. But also, I feel like it would be a really good pairing with The Princess Diaries. So, and it's, as Danielle's already pointed out, this is basically the same film structurally.
So there's so many similarities. I feel like
alternate universe where Mia decided not to become a princess and instead decided to become a journalist.
Yeah, but she just can't escape like the strong female mentor-ish character,
I guess.
Yeah. Except she's found the bizarro evil version of it.
So it feels like if she turned down being a princess, this is what we would have in The Devil Wears Prada, basically, with deleted scenes of her doing climbing and things like that. So
Totally. Also, I think that there's an argument to be made that the boyfriend is Lily, the asshole who has a point. So
so what happens in The Devil Wears Prada? Well, I always go to IMDb, as always. So it states, with an aspiration to become a journalist, Andy, a smart but sensible young graduate, travels to New York. She starts working as an assistant to one of the city's biggest high fashion magazine editors, the cynical Miranda Priestley. You know what? I think IMDb did a great job there, to be honest, compared to a lot of the other films I read out. So well done, IMDb. Well done.
Hard work summarizing.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hit or miss.
Yeah, certainly with IMDb. So initial reaction, guys. I'm fascinated. What was your first reactions to watching this film, Danielle?
So I mean, it's kind of another nostalgia pick, I guess. Like I watched this several times and I watched it a long time ago. I would say it's a little less nostalgic. So I haven't watched it in a very, very long time. So watching it again, I was surprised at how much I just absolutely loved it. I was like, oh man, this is actually a really great film. And it just hit me from like the very first scene with like the getting ready montage. It just was like, oh, this is great with the song as well. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed watching it. The acting from Meryl is just impeccable, and just loved seeing her repeat the same iconic lines I've repeated for years, but just was like marveling over at the way she delivers them. So I don't know. It was a really fun film with a little bit of a meaning that I really liked as well. So yeah.
Claire?
Yeah. I mean, I was probably 16, 17 when I first saw this movie. And again, another like major like cultural touchstone in my movie watching life. And this one though is one that I have watched so many times since the first watch. Like anytime it's on TV, I'm like, Devil Wears Prada, I'm gonna turn it on. And it's usually like the moment like right when, I don't know, Andy's in the cerulean blue sweater and she gets chastised by Miranda. And I'm like, this is a great starting point. So yeah, I just feel like this is another nostalgic watch for me. Perfect double feature with the Princess Diaries, starting that off and then going into Devil Wears Prada. And I see so many similarities between the two movies. Like it's crazy. But yeah, just another fun watch.
Yeah, so I watched this morning.
Wow.
So I have
fresh.
No nostalgia about it. Yeah, but I mean, when it came out, I obviously knew like the cultural impact this film had, and I knew kind of the fact that Meryl Streep was so good in it, and I knew about kind of the Emily gag that they were both known as Emily Blunt and Anne Hathaway. I knew all that stuff, and I did kind of feel bad that like I never watched it before, and you know I'm not a rom-com guy normally at all, but I feel like I am now. But
welcome to the club.
Yeah.
So it sort of just passed me by, even though when I see the poster, I really like all the people in it, even kind of Simon Baker. I'm a big like Mentalist fan when it was on. He was the star of that show. So I was like, it has a lot of ingredients that why I should be watching this, apart from obviously the fashion element. So yeah, I feel kind of bad that I never saw it in that kind of cultural moment. But yeah, watching it this morning, I really kind of enjoyed this. Very close to loving it as well. And and yeah, you know, Meryl Streep is amazing. Like her face acting is just incredible. And Emily Blunt, you don't often see like Emily Blunt's like comedy chops, to be honest. She does a lot of like very different roles, and to see her kind of as kind of almost like the comic relief here was kind of amazing because she does it so well.
Like why isn't she cast in more? She's fantastic.
And Anne Hathaway is kind of fabulous as always. So, and brings a lot of like integrity and heart to this film and her role. So yeah, overall I really enjoyed this. It really kind of surprised me of how kind of sharp it is from a writing point of view and even from a directing point of view as well. Yeah, I quite liked it. So let's get straight into it then, kind of with a directing point. Like, and also I'm just going to break my rule of the podcast as well. I'm going to literally start with my favorite scene because it is the first scene. I loved the first 10 minutes of this where it just kind of just thrusts you into this fashion world straight away, where Anne Hathaway's character is getting ready for an interview at Runway magazine like any normal person would. And then it's all kind of intercut with all these other women getting dressed in all these kind of luxurious clothing. You know, the breakfasts are compared as well, intercut with a very nice looking bagel and nuts. Like the pace is like super fast with all these kind of close-up shots. I even loved how they kind of show off like New York and the skyscraper in that kind of big tracking shot landing on Anne Hathaway before she walks in. Then when Emily Blunt's character, Emily, discovers that Miranda, Meryl Streep, is arriving early to the office, everyone goes into kind of panic stations, but it's still done with like kind of this sleekness and style in their panic. So I kind of really like that this is all about style and looking amazing, and yet when they're panicking, they kind of still keep that tone. And of course, it kind of builds up this anticipation and status around Miranda, you know, and it's all kind of done with the direction, really, for me. So when like Andy has her interview with Miranda's decision is made by like this single push in on Meryl Streep's face without her even saying anything. You know, the start feels very confident with what it's doing right from the start, and I loved it, frankly, that opening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was really, when I started this movie and saw the opening, I was like, oh shit, film versus film, this is gonna be rough, because the beginning is so good. I just feel like it really like sets up a lot of what the montage just sets up a lot of what this the points that it makes about fashion. Mm-hmm. Like the importance of like the ritual, this morning ritual, and the choices people are making, thinking deeply about what they're wearing, and how it represents their self-expression, and how they're dressing to be like who they want to be, like at work and in life. So I just really loved how that was represented in the getting ready montage. You have people like Andy who aren't really thinking about it, but it is all like, they're all doing it. You're all wearing clothes, like. So I really did enjoy that. And yeah, like up into when they get to runway, it's just a very good introduction to it all. I think the choreography is like really well done. So like from a directing standpoint, I think like the opening is great. Another similarity to, you know, Princess Diaries, you know, they're just listening to these like iconic 2000 songs. Like in this one, it's Suddenly I See, I think.
Yeah.
Suddenly I See.
Yeah. Yep. And then in Princess Diaries, I think it's Supergirl or something like that. But yeah,
wow.
It's so good.
It is. This movie knows how to do montages. Like there's like all of the montages are fantastic. And I love that when we first get introduced to Miranda, everyone's freaking out, but the camera also doesn't show Miranda's face. You just see like the bottom of her walking and like or the back of her head, and everyone's like darting out of the way because they, God forbid, get in Miranda Priestley's way. And then it's like she gets into the elevator and the model walks out and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, Miranda. And so that I just loved all that. And then obviously the elevator doors open and it's Meryl Streep, Miranda Priestley, an icon in her own right. So yeah, it's just a great setup.
Yeah, it's so smooth as well when she comes out of the elevator, and like you have this great like tracking shot of Emily Blunt like meeting her, and she literally, it's almost as if she catches the book, as they say, or I think, or some sort of file. Yeah. It felt very smooth. And also you say, you know, they hide like Meryl Streep's face in this, but it's not like overplayed, which I quite liked, because sometimes with these kind of long build-ups, they overplay it for like a villain character, which is no bad thing for like a villain character in more of a suspenseful film. But this is Meryl Streep we're talking about. Like, you got to show her face. So I feel like that was very well balanced. Like, it's cool having that, building up that anticipation to reveal Meryl Streep, but yeah, I feel like it's very well judged. They're not overplaying their hand.
Right. And it's like the look of Meryl Streep, Miranda Priestley, like is iconic too in this movie. So I feel like I'm glad that they like did a little tease, and then you see it more fully when the elevator doors open, when she's in like her sunglasses, and the way her hair is styled is great.
Yeah, I absolutely loved Emily Blunt in this. She does amazing panic in Meryl Streep's presence brilliantly, and disgust towards Anne Hathaway is amazing. Like, I love the moment where Anne Hathaway comes into the office with new clothes, like it's the transformation scene, you know, dressed by Stanley Tucci's character, and she goes from like glee to shock to disgust in this kind of fantastic way. It's just so great to watch in just a few moments from Emily Blunt. Like, but I must say though, with like Anne Hathaway's transformation. I thought it was done better in The Princess Diaries for me. But yeah, I think that scene is certainly the focus and the one I feel like the one that does the best here is Emily Blunt for sure, with her amazing reaction to what she looks like.
Mm-hmm. Lots of great face acting in this film with Emily Blunt, and most especially Meryl Streep with the pursed lips. Like when you mentioned the face acting, Claire, I thought of the pursed lips that she does.
Catastrophe.
Disapproval.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Emily Blunt's so great in this. There's so many like funny bits, like the scene when Anne Hathaway's been tasked to find the Harry Potter manuscript, and she's coming back with like the steak to give to Miranda, and she's like, "Am I fired?" And Emily Blunt says, "I rarely say this to people who aren't me, but you've got to calm down."
And we gotta love the line she says, "Why didn't you just climb into bed with her and read her a bedtime story?" Because that's in the Why the Flick intro.
Yeah, so it's in our intro. It's in our intro. I know. I was like, we've got to do this movie sometime on the pod, just because it's in our intro.
Even with like Emily Blunt is so great, because even like towards the end where Anne Hathaway gives away like all her clothing to Anne Hathaway to Emily Blunt, and she's trying to like keep her cool, even though she's just like, "Oh my god, thank you so much," and you'd be ecstatic about it. So she plays that so well in terms of her excitement. She doesn't want to like give away to Anne Hathaway, Andy, that she's incredibly excited. She still wants to have that kind of upper hand against Andy, which I felt was really well played by Anne Hathaway. Emily Blunt, fuck's sake, they're both called Emily.
You're doing just what Miranda does. You're
calling them
you see my point there.
Andrea.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of Miranda, Meryl Streep is amazing in this. I would say all her best moments are where she doesn't say anything. Like most of her looks are done for like comedy at the expense of Andy, but never really that cringy until we get to the point where like Andy has the responsibility of delivering the book, to Miranda's apartment. And when Miranda sees Andy on the stairs and Andy just leaves the book on the step.
God,
my God, if eyes could kill without doing much at all from Meryl Streep, it is quite incredible. Plus, I love the fact that the only kind of time you see Meryl Streep smile in this is kind of at the end of the film. I feel like you get a smidgen, the smallest of smiles, when she gets the Harry Potter manuscript for her, but that's about it. It's so tiny, blink and you miss it type of moment from Streep. But other than that, like the main smile you get from her is at the end after she sees Andy for the last time. It's it's a smile out of respect for her. I love it.
Yeah, just like I love how subtle she is with this. Like she does not she talks so quietly. Like she's practically whispering, but there's just so much power and like danger and authority in her voice. So she does an amazing job with that. And just like these little inflections, little turns of her head. It's just a very graceful performance that she puts on here. People just think like, oh, like to be a great dramatic performer, you have to like scream and yell and cry. And like she proves that you don't have to do any of that. It's just all about these little things in your face and your inflection, because there are so many lines that are iconic from this film. And I do agree, like I really like the writing in this film, but I don't think they would be quite as iconic if it wasn't for the way Meryl Streep said them. Yeah. Just like the little, just like differences in her voice when she says like florals for spring, groundbreaking, and by all means move at a glacial pace. You know how that thrills me. Like those would not be iconic if Meryl didn't say them exactly how she said them. So she's just, I feel like I haven't seen maybe Meryl's greatest performances, but to me, this is the best I've seen her. Like, I just think, even though it's not as serious of a film, she just does such a good job in this film that it's just, I can't, she's amazing. Like, I understand the Meryl hype when I watch this film.
Yeah.
It's a really great point, though, when you say that she doesn't have to raise her voice at all, because she never needs to, because she, in every room that, pretty much nearly every room that she's in, she always commands it. So there's no reason for her to. Well, and also it's always kind of an intimate space usually throughout, so there's no need for her to just command the room with her voice. She just does it anyway with her presence. I thought that was just a great choice as well.
It makes me want to like know the Miranda Priestley origin story. Like I just want to see like where she came from and how she got here. And I know she's based on Anna Wintour IRL. So, you know, I think I don't know how much she like really pulled from that as well. But yeah, I mean, the way that Meryl just commands a scene without saying anything just shows like why she is the queen that she is in acting.
I just watched the September issue. It's free on YouTube. It's a documentary about Vogue, then putting out the September issue in 2007. And I don't know how much she got from Anna Wintour, but like Anna Wintour is like she is not like a screamer or a yeller. She's like, she does have like that quiet authority. So I do think that was probably inspired by her. And I do think just like watching this movie after watching the September issue, it does feel very like grounded in reality, and some things are very true to how it actually was at Vogue, and just like the attitude of, you know, we are doing something really important here with fashion. Like that is like something that Anna Wintour speaks to in like the very beginning of that movie documentary. So nice. I'm sure she studied Anna. Yeah. I think Anna is nicer. I don't think she is as scary and as mean as Miranda Priestley is, but she does have a quiet authority that Meryl captures.
Yeah, I think my favorite like influence on a character of Anna Wintour is Edna Mode from The Incredibles, frankly. But
yeah,
with total respect for Miranda, but yeah, it's Edna Mode for me. It's interesting with the structure of this in terms of kind of it, because this is more of a rom-com, I would say, than The Princess Diaries. And it does some interesting things here. So, like the film from pretty much early on is always about like if Andy chooses her career in fashion, which is obviously extremely demanding, which mainly consists of gaining like respect for Miranda or her boyfriend Nate, played by Adrian Grainer. You're always going to get like a scene where Andy's job gets in the way of their relationship in a big way. And when Andy arrives home super late after after a fashion event on Nate's birthday, you would expect like a big full-blown argument scene, but it's not that at all. Like Andy obviously apologizes and Andy wants to talk about it, and all Nate says is, "You look really pretty." And it's like Nate acknowledges that she really loves her job and she's now like quite good at it. And I think it's kind of genuinely, and I think he's genuinely quite happy for her in that moment, but also communicating as well that he's not happy with this situation. He's not happy himself, which I certainly felt quite sad for him in that. And I loved kind of how simple that scene was as well. But then it kind of felt a little bit frustrating that you do get the big kind of argument scene a few scenes later after the kind of the Paris decision in the street. So I thought kind of that scene was really well done in kind of your low moment, if you will, in your rom-com, even though they kind of do it twice in a more of a stereotypical way. I kind of wish they kind of just left it to, you know, that quite simple, quiet moment, which kind of surprised me. I thought for sure we are going to get a big like argument here, but we didn't, which I quite liked.
Yeah, that, as much as I don't really like his character, I feel like he obviously is like kind of correct, but he just does it in such a self-righteous way that I just can't get on board with it. But that does kind of make my heart break for him a little bit when he's like, "You're really pretty. You look really pretty tonight." Like that part did get me. But yeah, I guess I didn't think about whether like it would have been better just to keep it there and not do the fighting scene. But
to be fair, though,
I do like that moment.
Yeah, I think when they do like the full-blown fighting scene in the street, it is handled quite well because it's not like fully blown out of proportion. So it still works, but
yeah, I don't know. I feel like over time, like Nate's like speaking of like the cultural impact, the characterization of Nate has changed in how people have perceived him. Like now, like more recently, now everyone like is a Nate hater in terms of how he handles the whole situation. And I'm not here to be a Nate apologist or anything, but like I can see his side of the story to some degree because, you know, if it were a man really invested in their career and their partner felt like they weren't spend enough time together, like it'd kind of be a similar situation. But that being said, like he is so passive, very passive in how he reacts up until like the big fight, which isn't even like a huge fight, like you said. Like yeah, he's upset, but he's like basically like we don't have anything in common anymore. Let's like split up. But yeah, I didn't like how he kept being like every time she was like in a new outfit, and like you could see him being wishy-washy about the situation, that he's like, well, let's have sex. Like, just, like
you are hot. Yeah.
So like that.
Yeah, looking at it like that,
their
it
relationship.
Well. Yeah.
Yeah. It just made me feel like their relationship was just like a very young relationship that wasn't going to last.
Yeah, I didn't believe
it's just kind of like hastened it along. Like,
yeah, they were like, you love Nate. I was like, where? I don't see it. Even when she was not like in her full glam, I was like, I just don't see it.
Is that more of a writing thing or a chemistry thing for you?
I don't
Maybe
know,
both.
Man. Yeah,
they didn't have much to like. They didn't really have like a lot of small moments with them, I feel like, or like, and maybe it's the chemistry too, because I didn't really like feel that they were invested in the relationship even from the beginning.
Yeah, I also just think that like he's a chef. I was like, chefs have terrible hours. Like he's probably also like never home and like
that's a good point.
And like it's just like when you're younger, you do kind of tend to be more of a workaholic, trying to prove yourself kind of thing. Yeah. So it did feel kind of like I don't know. I feel like you both are kind of supposed to be in this stage right now, but
in Nate's defense, a little bit, I feel like they worked a little bit better as a couple when they were amongst their friends, like the friend characters. I feel like their relationship worked well. I guess you don't have many scenes like that. I feel like there's only like one, if not two scenes, and they're quite short as well. So where you have the group of friends together to kind of, I feel like the chemistry is better between the two leads here. Well, you know, the Andy and Nate.
Yeah.
So yeah,
which again is a sign maybe this relationship isn't meant to last. If that's like the only time you're really having chemistry.
I loved her guy friend. Is his name Doug? Her other guy friend who was like really he like knew all the fashion. I was like, better
I just think of him as Harry Crane from Mad Men. I just can't. It's all I can see in him.
Also funny that her friend's name is Lily in this movie, and also Lily in The Princess Diaries. I was like,
wow, I didn't even notice that.
The parallels.
Always listen to your friend Lily. That's what these films are telling us. So the last kind of half an hour of this film is kind of really interesting to me in how it kind of plays out. Like, and you feel like Andy has grown a lot in the fashion world by making a lot of like sacrifices. And it's always been about like gaining the respect of her colleagues like Stanley Tucci's character Nigel and of course Miranda. But when Andy sees Miranda's vulnerability, kind of her emotional side in Paris, that she's going through a divorce, which comes as quite a surprise when you think that she's kind of an untouchable character. So Andy kind of becomes as loyal as ever to her. You know, Miranda is human after all and not the devil. But what also kind of happens in Paris is that Andy learns that how cutthroat this industry is, and Andy finds out there's like a plot to replace Miranda as the editor of Runway. But turns out that Miranda knew about it this whole time and stops it, but at Nigel's expense to kind of move up. You know, point being that Miranda kind of screwed over her kind of loyal colleagues for her own gain, and Andy kind of says to Miranda she would never do that to anyone. but Miranda points out that she's actually already done that to Emily's character by replacing her going to the Paris trip without realizing what she's done. So it kind of becomes quite twisty-turny to make that point, but flows quite well in the last 30 minutes. So it's interesting to see how kind of hard Andy works to get to this point by sacrificing her personal relationship and her friends, but then to learn that to move up in fashion, she has to do that in kind of a professional way as well, in her professional life as well. So that's like the trigger for Andy to say, okay, I'm out. And what makes it worse is that she could have done that at any time, because she's always seen this job as kind of a stepping stone for her journalistic career. So I like how the film kind of subtly takes Andy on this kind of path of becoming cutthroat without realizing it, but also keeping kind of that integrity with her character. And she has kind of a line of respect in her work, in her working life, where Miranda doesn't have a line of respect. Miranda is the line in a way, and probably actually the devil. So... I feel like that was kind of really well played out in the end. It gets very plotty, but I feel like it's done very well. Yeah. So yeah, I really liked how kind of it's kind of quietly revealed that she is becoming like a fashion devil, if you will, without realizing.
Yeah, she also sees Miranda, how it has ruined Miranda's personal life, and it hasn't gotten any better for her. So she also sees that, and I think that helps her make her decision too. Yeah, I was going to say my favorite scenes are probably the first scene and the end, the close to ending scene where they're in the car. Just because, yeah, I mean, I love their conversation they have and the realization she comes to. And then when they get out of the car, getting out on obviously opposite sides of the car, literally going different directions. And then I love when Miranda turns around and that face acting she does there, where the confusion, where is she? Realizing that she's gone. And it's all done so coolly and subtly that of course no one else really notices. And then just the little smile from Anne and the way she casually flings the phone to the pool. It's just such a there's just so many good parts of that scene that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I agree. I love the scene where we see Miranda vulnerable for the first time, and that it's toward the end of the movie, because she's been set up this whole time to be this ruthless, no bullshit, gets things done, very stoic kind of character. And then to see her be in this moment, having a breakdown of what's happening in her personal life, and seeing oh, she actually is a human being who cares about her daughters and cares what's going to happen to them with the fallout of this other divorce now that she's gone through. And her, she even says the people are going to have this perception of me as oh, the dragon lady, but I don't even care about that. I care about what my daughters are going to have to go through, and they're losing a father figure. I just think it humanizes Miranda too. And it's shocking, because you're oh my gosh, she's had this very firm perception, or at least how she's portraying herself to the world. And to see her break down in this moment, I think was I mean, it's not great for the character, but I think it's great for the character development of her. And then obviously she switches back so seamlessly too at the end of that scene.
You get the sense that Miranda is very used to this world of what she has to do to stay at the top. She can take kind of the emotional punches now at this point, because I don't think it specifically said how many marriages she's been through, but as you say, she still wants that kind of father figure for her kids, her twin daughters, but obviously it's not fully explored that much. And yeah, I agree, Claire, it would be cool to have a Miranda prequel movie or something, just to find out more of the emotional side of where she's coming from. But because you do get the sense that she is quite a cold character in the end, that she will do anything to stay at the top, and it doesn't matter who she's going to burn to stay there. But it's also, you get the sense that with Stanley Tucci's character, that he was so looking forward to becoming the president
getting out
of this other like fashion label and having more of a life, and that he can like now be able to actually see Paris. But when kind of the decision is made that he's not going to be president anymore, you can definitely see on his face that he's really gutted about it. But at the same time, like, I feel like this is part of the course of this industry, that you know, this always could have been on the cards, and unfortunately for him it's happened. But so it's kind of interesting that how well that's kind of done with giving Andy kind of the moral high ground here, even though her relationship stuff is very rocky in itself as well with Nate. So I feel like it is quite well judged. But now I'm kind of thinking the fact that I didn't really realize there was this kind of hate kind of discourse with Nate's character now. So I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does this kind of ending kind of work as well as it did with this Nate narrative now? Or
I mean, I think, okay, I know it's been like a thing where it's kind of built up online, but I even remember when I first watched this film and saw Nate, like I was never invested in him and like never really like cared about the relationship or whether they were like going to get back together. That did not matter to me at all. So,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just not, it's just not played that well. But yeah, I like, you know, with Stanley Tucci's character, she's built up a real friendship with him. Like she does like not only respect him, but likes him. So that like seeing him get screwed over by Miranda like that, I think is her being like, oh, like, how could she do that to this person who is so loyal and so like smart, and also like he is tough, but he is, you know, has also like a soft spot to him. So
yeah, because and like nobody's safe in this. Yeah, and, like for Miranda, like just because you think they're besties, she will still like throw you under the bus to protect herself.
Yeah, in a few moments, it was only really a few moments. I did think that maybe there was going to be a point where Andy like maybe takes over Miranda's role somehow with some sort of controversy being flagged up, and it kind of sort of ends that way, that she takes over as the editor. But yeah,
I can see that in like Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Game of Thrones type.
In Devil Wears Prada 2, I really want to see how Miranda makes it up to Stanley Tucci, because he said like she'll make it up to me. And he's like, I have to hope. So I'm like, they better revisit that in the sequel. I want to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm curious too.
Yeah, you know, obviously, as I said, I didn't realize kind of the hate towards Nate, but I definitely had hate for another character, and that was Simon Baker's character, Christian Thompson.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow, what an asshole.
Yeah.
But I thought his story,
yeah,
sleazeball is the word for sure. Like his storyline, I thought was very interesting. Like he plays Christian Thompson, and like a writer that acts as like Andy's other love interest, but he kind of represents an industry that Andy does actually want a career in. But I feel like she goes too far when she kind of sleeps with him in Paris for me. After she kind of breaks up with Nate. But I do like the fact that it's not like a fairy tale ending with Andy and Nate, you know, and at the end with their relationship, you know, Nate has a new job in Boston, and they say that they can kind of try and make it work, and they leave it there, which I thought was sort of the right way to leave it, I think, with their relationship. I know you probably got quite strong feelings about this, Danielle, but
oh yeah, I was just like, you guys aren't getting back together, or like, they shouldn't get back together. Like, why are you even considering this? Like, you found your new great job, and you've learned your lesson, and you're gonna move on. You're gonna find something better for you. Like, that's just what I want for you. I
think it would have been fine if they just had closure. Like, I'm sorry, we did. I'm sorry. Like, this is the way it ended, but like we're gonna part ways amicable. Like, I think that would have been better than saying, we'll see what happens. I'm like, but I mean, I know Boston and New York are not that far, but also like you guys are busy career people. Like you're just it's not working out. It's okay.
I'd rather see her like, you know, them see each other when she's with this new boyfriend, that she's actually like investing in that relationship and has found something good. Like if they had, if they both had like new people they were with and they like saw each other, I think that would almost be better than what happened.
Yeah,
Also,
it's going to be like difficult to really, certainly from a Hollywood perspective, they're never really going to be like, yeah, we're not going to be together. We're not going to be together anymore because of, you know, the distance, whatever, and whatever's, you know, happened in this film. So I kind of get that from a sort of a screenwriting point of view, but yeah, I kind of agree that maybe it's better if it had a little bit more realism to, you know, addressing the situation that these two have gone through. So, but yeah, I guess it's difficult to like put that more of a realistic spin on it with a kind of rom-com like this. So I kind of understand it a little bit.
They gotta leave it open, for the hopeful people. Also, parallel between this movie and Princess Diaries, don't trust a blonde man.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, between Christian and Brink, aka Blink 182, Brink 182 guy. Not good.
Yeah, I thought like Simon Baker though was really great in this as a bit of a dickhead character. He's definitely this kind of like carrot on a stick type of character where like this is the guy that you really need to be like talking to more to actually go down the career path that you want, because she had that opportunity like in Paris where she could have met like one of his friends that was a New York writer for some magazine or something. So that's what she really could have done with one decision there and got what she wanted career wise a lot quicker. Yeah. So the temptation was there, but I guess he's blonde and
yeah, it's never gonna work.
Yeah.
Another thing that I think this, like on a separate subject, another thing that I think that this movie like explored really well was like the question of like, is fashion really important? And I think we got like two different, but both kind of valid answers, one from Miranda and one from Nigel, and two really, really good monologues that they both did. Like we have Miranda with her cerulean speech where she's almost saying like, this is like a powerful industry. It's worth billions. And even if you don't realize that, it's true and you can't get away from that reality. And the decisions we make do filter down to you and do affect your day-to-day life. And then I do really love that speech, but I was like literally like snapping my fingers during Nigel's speech. I loved what he had to say about how like this is an art, and actually it's even greater than art because you're living your life in it. Like this, I mean, kind of like Miranda, this does impact you, and it's a way for people to express themselves, especially people who are like minorities, LGBTQ people. Like this is like very important avenue for self-expression. So those two moments were my favorite in terms of like dialogue. So I really appreciated what that had to say, because I feel like there's the fashion question and there's the toxic workplace question. And the fashion, and it says, yes, fashion is important, but it kind of like indirectly is like, but it's kind of ruined by capitalism. We're kind of like, we've made it kind of a hell, but it is an important thing to people.
Yeah, it's an interesting point that you say with the Tucci's kind of speech as well, because you kind of see that with like Andy's journey, certainly in the first 30 minutes anyway, because obviously she dresses quite, you know, well, normally with slight grandmother vibes as well, as one character I think mentions with the skirt. But then through when she's dressed like that, she's really struggling to really just get through her day. But then when she has that kind of transformation scene, if you will, when she does dress with incredible fashion, with Stanley Tucci's help,
Chanel boots.
Yeah. She becomes far more confident and really kind of progresses in what she's doing because of the way she dresses. She feels like she can fit in now. And yeah, so I think that's kind of a great point in just that he says as well, but you get that anyway with her journey. So I thought that was kind of well done.
And the fashion is just beautiful in this. I do love the outfits, except for when it looks like she's kind of wearing a sneed at the end. It has like this long, like, I don't know what it was, like some sort of long train thing with a little fuzzy ball at the end. Didn't love that, but everything else I was into. And I even, Claire, I know you have your Devil Wears Prada hat on. I dress more subtly. I have, if you can tell, florals on my shirt. So florals for spring.
Revolutionary.
So that's my themed outfit. But yeah, in fashion, we're representing ourselves with fashion here.
Exactly. I know. Yes. For the audio listeners, I have a hat that says "That's all" in honor of Miranda.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing a Mandalorian t-shirt. Let's
Which
move
is
on.
representing your love of movies as well. So
exactly.
Or a TV show.
Like
cinema,
a
media,
one,
whatever.
It's kind of combined with Japanese samurai, so it's got some good crossover as well.
Yeah, but I do love the Andy fashion that's one of my favorite moments is the fashion montage of her walking into work and how the transitions look, because it looks like it's the same scene, but then a bus passes her by and she's in a different outfit. And I'm like, I love that outfit and that outfit and that outfit. I'm like, do I need to change my entire wardrobe because this is so beautiful? Yeah,
that was really well done. I don't want to say it as my favorite montage because it's not. It's the kind of the bags and coats one.
Oh my gosh.
And just the ridiculous things she says each time.
Yeah. Where is that note I left in my hand yesterday morning or something?
Yeah. Get Patricia. Who's Patricia?
She's just what is that mythological creature that gives you riddles, like the Sphinx or whatever? That's how I feel like Miranda's instructions are.
But yeah, that montage where she when she walks to work after kind of the transformation scene, she walks to work and you have all the costume changes. It felt very planned out with all the kind of the object or wipes with a pillar or a car. Yeah, really, really well kind of choreographed with that. Yeah, and even from a fashion point of view, from it all just kind of fit. It felt right with what she was wearing in each kind of little bit.
And it is the switch of her becoming more confident too, and being I'm good at my job, and I'm even though I'm killing myself over this, I'm finally good at what I'm doing.
I do want to kind of imagine that Stanley Tucci is dressing her in every morning or something.
Yeah, he comes by every morning.
To her apartment. They're not actually her clothes. They
Paolo
can't
does
be.
her hair. Stanley dresses her.
What a team.
Yeah. Dream team for sure.
So favorite scene, guys? Claire, what's your favorite scene?
I think it's the Miranda gets vulnerable, honestly, with Andy, just because I think it's so unexpected. You just don't think that's going to happen with this character. So I like that. I mean, other favorite scenes, though, include the Harry Potter unpublished manuscript search, which is just so stressful. And you're like, well, she's done for, but she finds a way to make it work.
I was wondering which book it was, though.
I think it's Deathly Hallows from what I read on trivia. They said book 7. It was book 7 on the cover. So I think that's Deathly Hallows, right?
Yeah, definitely. Well, that makes it even... That puts the stakes up even more.
Yeah. Then you're
twins not to
shit.
blab either. You're gonna be talking.
Danielle?
Yeah, I don't know. There are so many good ones. Yeah, I really like the first scene. I think that might also be your favorite. But yeah, it just takes you into the world just perfectly and says a lot, in my opinion. And it's just very impressive all around. So everything's working for it. The music, the shots, the choreography, everything. So
yeah, the opening is mine as well. But directing score, though, for Devil Wears Prada, guys, what are you going for?
Danielle, you want to do the Devil Wears Prada scores?
Sure. Let me look up to see what we gave it. Yes, we ended up going with an 8.5 score. Yeah, just the shots, I think, in this can be really great. The opening scene, as well as the one where Miranda turns out and is surrounded by paparazzi. I think we're both done particularly well and are very memorable.
Yeah, I'm going to go in a similar ballpark. I think I will go an 8.3, just because, with that opening scene, as we've all mentioned, that it has this just great style to it that reflects the whole film and this whole industry, I guess. And yeah, it's just got a real confidence about it in terms of the directing and how everything is staged. And certainly with like, it does an incredible job of just like framing Meryl Streep, Miranda's character, in such a way that just you feel like she commands every single room that she's in. It's done really, really well in that aspect. And even with, it's not like, it doesn't have the visual comedy as The Princess Diaries, but it's certainly staged in a way that really can really show off kind of the comedy acting chops of all these actors as well. And it, you know, certainly from like the other kind of emotional stuff in it, it does a kind of a great job of staging that as well. I don't feel like you notice the direction too much as well. So yeah, it knows when to be stylish and when not to, frankly, which certainly, like, you would think in a film like this, there would be more of an emphasis on doing more with the camera work because, you know, we're dealing with a very stylish industry, so you would think it would be more over the top in terms of how it was directed, but it's not. It's just very subtly and sleekly done. I think that's the word. So yeah, I think it's really, really well done. 8.3 lines then, people. I got loads.
Yes, I'm wearing one.
Yes. The first one I wrote down was from Stanley Tucci, where he shouts to everyone, "All right, everyone, gild your loins."
Yep. Classic.
Yeah. And you have no style or sense of fashion. Well, I think it depends on...
She's like, that wasn't a question. I just love how she was like, she's bad. Right.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you have no style or sense of fashion. Well, I think it depends on what your... No, that was a question. Yeah. I completely messed that up. What is happening?
Miranda would chastise you.
She would, definitely.
Of course, we know like the florals for spring groundbreaking, and by all means, move at a glacial pace. You know how that thrills me. Those are just iconic. I also like Emily Blunt's. I'm sorry, do you have some prior commitment? Some ugly skirt convention you have to go to? Just like the savagery where it's like, I forgive you because it's so funny. Like those are the lines that I loved.
Also, Miranda saying, please bore someone else with your questions. I wish I could incorporate all of these into my daily life of people I don't want to interact with.
She knows what you look like. Do you? I look like. Darling, shall we? We have to get to the beauty department, and God knows how long that's going to take.
Yep.
One of my favorite ones from Emily Blunt, where Serena turns up and she sees Andy in all her new clothes. And she says, she looks good. She does. Oh, shut up, Serena. It's great.
Yeah. Emily had a lot of good ones when she goes, something I say, which was like, I love my job. I love my job. I love my job. I feel like that is very classic to this movie. And also when she says, I'm just one stomach flew away from my goal weight. Just like so terrible.
Yeah. The like fat phobia, I guess, of this film is pretty like rough, but that is, I think, a lot how the fashion industry was, especially then. Like when it was, I don't remember. Oh yeah, Miranda. She's like, hire the smart fat girl. Like, it's like, damn, like she's rough. She's not like she's so skinny. She's probably even skinnier than she says she is in the film. Like, it's wild.
Yeah, I do like some of the interactions between Anne Hathaway and Stanley Tucci. There's one great moment where he says, but we're not expected until Tuesday. Did she say why? And then Andy says, yes, yeah. She explained every detail of her decision making, and then we brushed each other's hair and gagged about American Idol. I see your point.
Very good.
From Andy, I'll be back in 15 minutes. Wish me luck. No, shan't. I think it's probably my favorite, to be fair. Just the way Emily Blunt delivers that. No, shan't.
Even like the last line of Miranda, oh, don't be ridiculous, Andrea. Everybody wants this. And then gets out of the car. Like, that's an iconic line, too.
Yeah, it is.
Let me know when your life goes up in smoke. That means it's time for a promotion. Kind of the
Some
dark,
of these are so real.
Yeah.
again, yeah, more of a fat phobia one. Like, I'm on this diet, it's very effective. Well, I don't eat anything. And then when I feel I'm about to faint, I eat a cube of cheese.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, the cube of cheese. It's the mouse diet. Gotta get on it.
Yeah.
Move over, Atkins.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't deserve them. You eat carbs, for Christ's sake.
As she's eating like a piece of bread. I remember that. I was like...
I love the great kind of simple burn that Andy gives to Simon Baker's character after they've slept together. And Baker like reveals that like it's done with the, Miranda's not going to be around anymore. And she says, "Baby, it's done. I'm not your baby."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was
I'm glad
such
she
a great
said
simple
something.
burn.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Screenplay score, guys. What are you going for?
Yeah, I think that the writing in this film is one of its strongest suits. Not only do you have like the cutting jokes that they make throughout the film, but the monologue, the cerulean monologue and Nigel's monologue are just so well done and have some very like important truths to say about the fashion industry that I think, anytime you have a film that can say something about what's going on in our world, I think that is, and do it in such a memorable way, that is very important. And, I don't know, it was really great. So we gave it an 8.8 like average score from both of us.
So one of the scores from you guys was very high then.
Yes, Danielle.
Nice, love it. So screenplay score for me, yeah, I did really enjoy this screenplay, actually. It's really quotable, as you say. It's really funny in a very different way, performance-wise, and when they're delivering the lines, obviously. Usually what you're going to get with in terms of like a rom-com, and I feel like they do some really interesting things, as we spoke about, in terms of the structure of how they kind of play with rom-com tropes a little bit. Maybe you could argue it kind of backfires a little bit with kind of the Nate character, but I didn't see that as much. Obviously, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm a guy, I don't know. But please don't judge me. But
never.
But yeah, I think it does a really interesting job in how kind of it plays out in that last 30 minutes, and kind of how you see Miranda, how you kind of even see Andy as well. That I just love this kind of idea that she doesn't really realize what she's become until it's almost too late. So I think that's one of its strongest points for the screenplay. So yeah, I'll go like a solid 8 for me. No, I'll give it 8.2.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking there's so many classic lines here. It needs to be a little bit more.
I mean, there's like
so
many TikTok sounds are from this movie these days. Like, truly.
That's a sign of a good script.
Yeah. Favorite performances, though, guys? Danielle, who's your favorite performance?
Oh, well, just obviously Meryl Streep. She just did an amazing job here. Like, her delivery is what makes this film. I don't think the lines would be as iconic without her delivery of the lines, and just like a masterclass in like subtle acting that she does here, and face acting, which is like my favorite thing. Being able to communicate so many different emotions with just a glance that's just acting. Like that is, you're a peak actor if you can do that. So yeah, Meryl all the way.
Yeah, I'm Meryl too. Team Meryl. And I feel like this is a role that I don't see Meryl perform very often. I don't know, whenever I've seen her do a role like this, like it's just so different from what I'm used to in her filmography. So I love that she brought this to the character of Miranda and did it in such a fabulous way. I mean, Anne Hathaway, like I liked her performance in this movie still. Both this performance and the one in The Princess Diaries are very good, but I do like her performance a little bit better in The Princess Diaries than this one. So yeah, and then, the supporting cast, still great. Emily Blunt, Stanley Tucci, but it's just like Meryl Streep commands the screen anytime she's on it.
It's definitely like one of those roles where you can't really imagine anyone else doing it. And I feel like you, for this kind of this type of character that is kind of riffing off the famous fashion designer that the name of is passing me by right now, but
Anna Wintour.
Thank you. You have to cast someone in kind of that level of status in the acting world, and there's no one close to Meryl Streep, I think. It feels like that they made like almost an impossible role here, that like you can only really cast one person, people. Otherwise the film doesn't work.
Definitely.
But what's also just kind of great about Meryl Streep is the fact that she's not doing much. She's just doing these little things here with her face acting, just the way she moves. And I guess it helps with just how frantic everyone else is around her as well. Especially Emily Blunt. I must shout out, like, Emily Blunt for me would be a close second, because her physical comedy, her physical kind of face acting as well, in her disgust and despair and shock, and she goes through it all, Emily Blunt, which kind of it is frustrating a little bit to me that she is a bit sidelined towards the end, which is a shame. I don't know whether like the car accident is like totally necessary for kind of the way the plot plays out. But yeah, Meryl Streep for me all the way. Acting score, guys, what are you going for?
Yeah, I think our acting score, at least on my half, is like pretty much entirely based on Meryl. And I mean, there's so many good performances, but I'm just like, hers is the reason why the score is so high. They all did great, but it is high because of her. I also want to give a shout out to Stanley Tucci. We didn't really talk about him much, but he's just so charismatic in this film. Like, you just love him, even when he is being a little bit of an asshole. So we gave this a 9.
Yeah, we both had 9s for this. So and a lot of it, like you said, was Meryl.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite like Stanley Tucci moments is just like right near the beginning where he's just like, he holds up a folder and it's just like, who's that? Like right next to her.
She's like, I can't even deal with that right now.
Yeah.
Emily.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna match you guys, because I just think this is performed like really well, and even to someone like Simon Baker, who is just plays that kind of sleazy asshole character, but without doing too much either, like, is really good, because you kind of instantly kind of hate that guy. I feel like before he even says anything. So yeah, 9 as well.
It's blonde hair.
Yeah,
I was like, we knew.
Yeah,
too much
and blonde eyebrows.
Too much product. Definitely get it. Right, let's add up the scores then for The Devil Wears Prada.
Spoiler, it's going to be higher than The Princess Diaries. I already know. That's okay. This was such a fun, like, double feature watch. I'm not even mad about it.
Yeah, The Devil Wears Prada gets an impressive 51.8. Yeah, so
nice.
Bit of a difference there.
Wait, we should be sad, right? It's not our film.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
But
I've only won once on this show.
I wasn't going to mention that. I got to pull it
How
up now.
often do you win?
Oh, you were?
What's your
Martin's
record?
My record?
Yeah, I'm just like wondering, like, is it who wins?
Do you typically win or lose?
Oh, I typically lose, to be honest. Like, I think I've won 3 episodes.
That makes me feel worse.
Yeah, now.
This is why Martin wants Why the Flick to come on, because he's like, I know I'm gonna beat them.
It's always an easy win against Why the Flick. You can come on again.
Yeah.
So we like nostalgia films, okay?
Yeah. So Why the Flick?
They don't hold up.
Stays at 7th with now 1 and 3. I'm sorry.
It's okay. The one win was Leave the World Behind, and I still hold on to that.
I did really like that.
It was a good movie.
Good film. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I don't care.
I came with an argument, and I made it, and I was so happy to win.
Right. Next episode, as Disclosure Day is out, we are talking Steven Spielberg films 2, because we've done a previous episode years ago. I think that was Jaws versus Catch Me If You Can many years ago. So we're bringing out the Spielberg movies again. And I'll be joined by Lee from Lights, Camera, Rant, who, by the way, has a worse record than you. So just to make you feel better. And he's been on more times.
I'm mad. I want to be on the Steven Spielberg episode so I can do Jurassic Park.
You know my Claire wants to be on there.
Yeah, it's all right.
Guys, you have been amazing as always. It's great to have you on as well, Danielle, for your debut. You're definitely welcome again. This is your opportunity again to tell us about your podcast and where can we find you?
Yeah, so thanks so much, Martin, for having us back on your show. It's always so fun to get to talk movies and do these double features. But yeah, we're Why the Flick. We're a movie podcast that comes out every other Tuesday, and we pick a new movie each episode and ask ourselves, why the flick did we watch this? So we pretty much talk all facets of the movie. We're a little sporadic, and we wing it many times. So if you like that kind of energy, come over and listen to our show. We also have some fun segments at the end where they all tie into flick in some way. So we do like Duh Flick moments, or Dick of the Flick. We crown someone that award. And then you can basically find us wherever you listen to podcasts, so Spotify, Apple, etc. And then you can follow us on Instagram at Why the Flick on Instagram, TikTok, and Letterboxd.
Nice. I'm curious, who would be Dick of the Flick on this movie? Nate?
I know, I was wondering that too. I was like, Nate or Christian? Probably Christian.
Oh, not Miranda. You wouldn't pick her. We can't pick
No.
her. Absolutely
never.
Even though she
I would
is
never. Yeah.
Actually,
I'm scared of her. She's not real, but I'm scared.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I don't want to get on her bad side.
No. Right, it's time to say goodbye, people. I know it's very, very sad, but we got to say goodbye at some point, and I got to go to bed. It is goodbye from Claire. Bye-bye. Say goodbye.
Bye.
And it's goodbye from Danielle. Bye-bye.
Oh, bye-bye.
I love doing the bye-byes because it always gets messed up, and I kind of love it, to be honest, now.
That's okay. We always try to say bye at the same time, and it never works out because of the internet connection.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. And it's goodbye from me. I'm going to maybe go to the shops tomorrow and maybe buy a jacket and then maybe a shirt and trousers, maybe some shoes.
Do they have Old Navy over there? You should get some. Devil Wears
Prada. They do not.
Swag.
In fact, the last time I was in New York, I did buy a shirt from Old Navy. It's very nice. Yes.
It is. Very nice clothes, I will say.
Yes.
Miranda would never, but me, yes.
I'll make it work for Miranda. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
That's it for part 2. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out part 1 if you haven't done so already. But don't stop there. Get involved and tell me what your favourite films are relating to the episodes. Send us a DM or comment on Instagram and TikTok at Film vs. Film Podcast, for X at FVF_podcast. Plus, we are now on YouTube, so hit that like button and comment there. If you do, I'll give you a shout out on the next episode. Remember, please leave us a 5-star review and subscribe. Pod signing off.